Hello, Ungoogleable. Welcome to your life. Today is beautiful. Please log in.
After months of longing, we couldn't bear to be apart even for a moment. I had never known a person who accepted me so completely and had so much peace inside. Joanna didn't fill the spaces with mindless chatter. Instead, we drifted on the current of simply being together. Sometimes I jumped almost in surprise as she touched me, my fingers flexing when she stroked my hand, or my jaw twitching when she kissed my eyes. It was as if my body couldn't quite believe her gentleness. I never had someone take pleasure in me before. It was the simplest but most perfect of feelings. It was inevitable that I would move to Britain and settle with Joanna in Harlow, Essex. I found work as a web designer and got used to the small flat we shared. My electric wheelchair was too big to fit into it, so I could only move up and down one small strip of quarter in my manual chair, and I'd even myself repeatedly trying to master the kettle and toaster. But for me, the 2-meter sweep of floor that I could negotiate was my own Hollywood Boulevard. The garden I saw outside the window was the Alhambra, the tiny kitchen where I tried to cook the finest Parisian restaurant. I became stronger in my first few months in England, and I could move around easily in the small part of the flat accessible from my chair by pushing off the floorboards with my feet. My right side was getting steadier all the time. I was not so good at opening bottles, but I could get coffee into cups. I couldn't tie my shoelaces, but I was able to push the vacuum cleaner around. So much of everyday life, though, was literally above me. I felt useless as I watched Joanna hang curtains, and I'd stare at things in cupboards soaring overhead. After deciding to cook supper one night, I tried to dislodge a bag of flour from a shelf using a broom and watched it trickle down towards me, knowing there was nothing I could do to stop it. Joanna found me and the flat covered in flour when she got home that night. We married in June 2009 in a church in Essex. I had a ring made, a wide band of yellow gold
Unenforceable embargoes. Many countries use the banking system and deploy money as tools in their political regime. There is a lot of pressure to keep some countries, such as Iran or North Korea, from being able to deal with the rest of the world.
Arrival in
However, in a decentralized Crypto 2.0 system, either everything goes or the system goes. This may very soon create a situation where the unstoppable force of innovation from the crypto space will meet with the unmovable object of nationalistic policies. In the end, only one will be able to prevail. This issue affects the system, like Ripple and Stellar, the most. In those 2.0s, one can freely trade between any pair of currencies. This means that if, say, we have USD issued by a bank from the States and IRR issued by a bank from Iran, one can trade the USD for IRR just as easy as one would trade USD for Euro. As the systems don't distinguish or discriminate between any currency or issuer, this makes the monetary sanctions unenforceable in the system without completely shutting the network down. If this issue would ever come up, this would probably be the biggest legal battle a crypto system would have to face. Can a company develop a software that is by its very inclusive nature allowing some people to break the law? Can such a system be allowed to exist and run? Perhaps a combined pressure from a hegemonic government and oligopolistic banks would be enough to drive the crypto scene underground. However, given another outcome, we would see that the emperor has no clothes and progress cannot be stopped. Conclusions: there is more than one way to kill a crypto. You can either attack its value, to grind it down to dust, pay the miners to censor it into oblivion, or challenge the status quo and see what remains after the battle.
125.
How about we forget about those?
$2.
Okay. No. Yes, okay, just this one. Forget about the other one.
Please place item in the box.
I did.
In the item tab and touch enter.
It's not going to do anything because it's not in the database. This code was read, but it hasn't been populated in the database.
Unknown item.
Thank you. You're in GIS.
I'm pissed off. choose them during the
Makes you look taller?
competitions. No, they're not that noticeable.
Thank you for logging out. Today was a wonderful day. Please come back tomorrow.
Red, blue, green.
Mic check 1 2.
Congratulations. You reject the good enough. You reject words like symbolism and postmodernism. Obsolescence is not part of your vocabulary. Every night, every day, every step of the way. The diktat of fashion. The agenda of the color wheel. Gone. It takes more than a pretty face to catch your attention. I repeat. It takes more than a pretty face to catch your attention. Good. That is very good. We are source decoded. For you. For the most perfect moisturizer. The most advanced cosmetic lineup. Scientifically proven, scientifically tested. For you.
Congratulations. Calibration completed.